Chair now recognizes Mr. Neugebauer, gentleman from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would make a couple of points and certainly appreciate our great witnesses today. There's a lot of debate and discussion out there of where we go with our space program. And I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody told me a number of years ago after President Kennedy set the goal out for our nation that everywhere you went in NASA was little placards that said the moon, because that was the goal and it was the focus, and that everything that everybody got up every day and said, what do we do to advance to the goal of going to the moon? So I think two questions I have this morning is if we don't appear to have a clear goal of where we're going with our space program, and what would you recommend ways that we could bring some kind of consensus of where we're going? And the second piece of the discussion is there are people that say, do we really need the manned portion, that with the technology that we have today, can we do space exploration without using manned portion of it? And obviously you two gentlemen have participated in the manned portion of it. And your reflections on, does all of it have to be manned or some of it unmanned, and how does that fit into the overall goal? And Mr. Armstrong, certainly just start with your reflections.
There's enormous value in our unmanned programs. Many of them can go places where humans will never be able to go. So there's information to be gained, and these knowledge-gaining probes are imperative for our continued exploration of space. But the human program is designed with goals to give our future generations options of how to expand, where to survive, how to survive. Very big questions of the destiny of our human race. So I think those kind of questions must be investigated by humans, and they cannot be done by unmanned spacecraft.
As Neil said, the unmanned program is vitally important. Everywhere we've been, there's been unmanned programs that have preceded us. There's unmanned programs going on now which precede those who will follow us. So I think they're vitally important. At one time someone thought the first landing on the moon would come out the other side. It was nothing but a bunch of gas. Well, there's a lot of things we don't know about what's out there, about the universe in which we live, and the unmanned program is vital. The rovers on Mars, the Hubble itself lets our imagination stretch out. But I don't mean to make light of it, but there's never been ticker tape parade for a robot. Neil's name is the most known name in the universe. You said that, the world, the universe, for a reason. He's a human being. He can come back and tell you what it feels like, what it looks like, what it was like to be there. This is what Lewis and Clark didn't send an empty canoe up the river. And the people, and I'm not making light of it. Human beings have to follow in the footsteps of everything we can send before them. We send unmanned spacecraft to make it safer, to make sure we're going to get back, so we can share these feelings and thoughts with you. Going back to one of your first questions that said moon during Apollo on everybody's door. That was a destination. That was a goal. The goal was to get there before the end of the year. Or the decade. We were going to get there sometime. When Kennedy said we're going to go to the moon, he said that 3 weeks after Alan Shepard went up and came down. 16 minutes of spaceflight experience. We know beans about going to the moon. The technology didn't exist. But all the people who were working on this program knew that's where we're going to go, and American ingenuity was going to find a way to get there. And a testimonial to that ingenuity is the fact to American enterprise is the fact that everyone who went to the moon, including Apollo 13, came back home to talk about it.